You know, when I traveled alone, I'd fight bandits, some drunk chevaliers. Nothing out the ordinary. Back with the Inquisition, and a moment later we're battling secret Canary assassins in a dream library.
Any regrets, Renier?
I wouldn't have missed this for anything.
Ah, Lhasa Mala Ravas. You are free. You are so beautiful. But then you turned away. Why?
I had no choice.
She is barefaced, embarrassed, and she doesn't know. She thinks it's because of her.
You cannot heal this, Cole. Please, let it go.
Perhaps Cole can get a better answer from you than I did.
He hurts, an old pain from before, when everything sang the same. You're real, and it means everyone could be real. It changes everything, but it can't. They sleep, masked in a mirror, hiding, hurting, and to wake them... Where did it go?
I apologize, Cole. That is not a pain you can heal. Forgive me. You are right. You are fine as you are.
You hurt my head sometimes, Solus.
Yes. I have been known to do that.
It makes sense that Liliana did the recruiting when the Inquisition started. Not everyone can be intimidated into signing up, after all.
I recruited Commander Cullen.
Lucky him.
He has made no complaints about my manners.
His last boss was a raving lunatic who turned into a statue. That's not a high bar.
Sarah, if you eschew all things elven, why not a crossbow? They require less training.
Ugh, too winchy.
Ah, yes. Winchiness. A point I had not considered. You are not Talvashoth, Iron Bull. Not really.
Well, that's a fucking relief.
You are a man who made a choice. Possibly the first of your life.
I've always liked fighting. What if I turned savage, like the other Talvashoth?
You have the Inquisition. You have the Inquisitor. And you have me.
Thanks, Solus.
You know what I like about you, Chuckles? Your boundless optimism.
It's comforting that whatever qualities I lack, you'll invent for me, Varric.
No, really. Why else would an elven apostate help crazy chantry folk close a hole in the sky?
When you put it like that, I must concede your point.
Sarah, I had a thought. The next time we run into a line of enemies, I'll pick you up and throw you.
Get off.
No, this could work. I loft you over the front ranks. You land behind them to flank. Mayhem ensues.
I can't fly, you daft tit.
Think of the mayhem, Sarah. Mayhem.
I'd get a wedge up something fierce.
Look, you and Varric are the only ones small enough, and he's pretty dense.
We'll do some bloody presses.
You should learn to watch your back.
Well, you need to... Your arse. No, your mum's arse.
Great. I'm glad we understand each other.
Inquisitor.
And you are?
The bartender. Cabot.
Just the bartender?
You were expecting...
I don't know. I suppose nothing.
I am a bartender, like my grandfather before me, and my father before him. A lineage destined to draw me in. Is that better?
Actually, yes. Yes, it is.
Of course. Refreshments await yon kings of destiny.
Dorian, those words you say, what do they mean?
What, you mean like mendicant? Ultimatum?
No arse when you're mad. Pishanti Kothas. You're swearing, I know it.
Vishanta Kafas. It's Tavine, relics of the old tongue. We still use the colorful phrases.
And it means what?
Literally, you shit on my tongue.
Why not just say that?
A mystery for the ages. What color is the sky, Sarah?
Hang on.
It is an earnest question. What color is the sky when you look at it?
You know, blue mostly. Except for the breachy bits.
And when you looked past the breach? As perhaps you were drawn to do.
Greenish? And clear a long ways and kind of... felt like falling. Ugh, makes my head hurt. You make my head hurt.
We are not so far apart, you and I.
We will be.
Do you have any advice for fighting demons, Solus?
Survive the first 30 heartbeats, and you have already won.
So I should try not to die. Helpful.
I mean that demons are rarely intelligent enough to change their tactics. If you focus on defending yourself, you will see the full range of their abilities within the first 30 heartbeats. By then, you should be able to find a weakness and exploit it.
Ah, that is helpful. I will try to remember that.
Also, try not to die.
Maybe you're not a complete moron.
We were having a moment, and now you've ruined it. Don't play Diamondback with Solus. You've been warned. Taught him the game last night. He turned around and beat me at it. Lost everything. Had to walk back to my quarters with only a bucket for my bits.
So, Sarah, a few fights ago, there was this one guy. I had his leg wounded, his shield down.
Oh, him, yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah, see, I had him. I was winding up for the killing blow and everything. You didn't need to take him.
I wanted to see if I could get him without hitting you.
What I'm saying is, please stop stealing my kills, Sarah.
That's not a thing. Get faster.
All right, you're not stealing, you're helping. Kill helping, that's fine.
Great. We're in the deep roads. I feel myself getting dwarfier by the minute. Did I just sprout a beard?
Yes, yes. You hate the deep roads and caves and the outdoors.
Orlesian cafes, taverns that are too tidy, slopes of greater than 10 degrees.
Look, I have to complain, or you'll forget I'm here and trip over me. I'm providing a service.
I'm right here, you know.
That doesn't rule you out, Seeker.
Cullen's not up for consideration?
Curly, they just keep him around to look pretty.
How do your people put on shirts?
We don't, usually. It's pretty hot where we come from. But I can get into anything with a loose collar. Just gotta ease one horn through and then angle it up. There's a term for getting caught unprepared that translates to running around with clothing stuck on your horns.
Colorful.
How do you get the hair on your face?
Look, ask Varric. He seems to have adopted you.
He doesn't have hair on his face. Is it a mask?
No, it's a beard. Look, if you were any other lad your age, I'd tell you that one day you'll probably grow one too. Except I don't know if spirits that become boys get beards.
I could try.
Right, you go do that then. Good luck. Have fun.
I notice you used a nullification enchantment combined with an offensive attack.
The nullification disrupts any ambient magic lying about. Things then burn hotter.
Don't you then waste an inordinate amount of magic overcoming your own nullification?
Ah, no. I warp the veil slightly to affect distance between the spells.
Of course. Have you considered snapping the veil warp to enhance the relative energy?
Like cracking a whip. Yes, tried it once. Made my teeth taste funny.
So here we are, Elf. Cleaning up another human mess.
What would the Inquisition do without our stabilizing influence, Master Tethras?
I assume they just start burning things.
That does sound like most humans I know.
If you gentlemen are quite finished,
Now, don't get touchy. We're just here to lend you simple humans our help.
Before you cause everything to explode.
Again?
Sarah, my tongue wants to whistle on the start. Sarah, but it has to stay still, or the R is a D. Sarah, Seda, Seda, Dada, 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 Dada. If you try, you can say it without moving your mouth. See? Sarah. Say it enough, and it stops being a word. Sarah, 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 Sarah.
It's like its face doesn't know what it's saying.
Dorian! Hush. Empires rise and fall. Arlathan was no more innocent than your own Tevinter in its time.
And Cullen. I suppose if you want a jackboot, you get a big one so you can grow into it. Nice hair, though.
Nice job in that last fight, Solus. You really kicked the crap out of that guy.
I suppose.
What? You don't think so? You ripped him a new one. It was great.
I'm sure you know exactly what you're doing, Solus. But a word of advice?
Oh, I look forward to this. Go ahead, Enchanter.
You set your coattails on fire with that last spell.
Perhaps what you perceived was merely a figment of the Fade.
I would not claim your familiarity with the Fade, but I recognize fire when I see it, darling.
It did go out eventually. It was not worth mentioning.
Not for you, perhaps.
Quite the stink eye you've got going, Dorian.
You stand there, flexing your muscles, huffing like some beast of burden with no thought save conquest.
That's right. These big, muscled hands could tear those robes off while you struggled, helpless in my grip. I'd pin you down, and as you gripped my horns, I would conquer you.
What?
Oh, is that not where we're going?
No, it was very much not.
That staff's in pretty good shape, Dorian. You spend a lot of time polishing it?
I spy.
No.
But,
No.
well, you should be good at finding things.
Hey, Solus, you ever do your fade thing and pretend you can fly? Just flap your arms and zip around in there, maybe bang some hot fade ladies?
No. Such behavior attracts the attention of demons.
Ah! Demons shit up everything.
Varric, does Hawk ever autograph books?
Why? Doesn't your copy of The Tale of the Champion have a big hole in it?
Yes, but it could also have Hawk's signature on it.
Seriously? Swords and shields. How did you find that cereal? Scrape it off the bottom of a barrel in Dust Town?
It was research. I thought I might learn more about the champion.
I did write a book about the champion. You might remember it. Had your knife stuck through it last I saw?
I'd already read that one. Twice.
Think you'll ever go back to Navarra, Seeker?
Why? Are you eager to see me go?
I wasn't, actually. But now that you mention it...
How do you know I wouldn't just drag you along?
Be still, my heart. I've grown on you.
Like fungus.
Ah, Solus, you startled me. You're always so... nondescript.
Please speak up. I cannot hear you over your outfit.
Solus, what's this whole look of yours about?
I'm sorry.
No, that outfit is sorry. What are you supposed to be, some kind of woodsman? Is this a Dalish thing? Don't you dislike the Dalish? Or is it some kind of statement?
No.
Well, it says apostate hobo to me.
What's the word out there?
I hear the Arishak was replaced by the Arishak, but he better watch out. In the shadows, the Arishak. Someone requested a dragon flagon. I threw him out. 7 people want your minstrel dead. They'd settle for smashing her loot, but they're afraid she'd sing about it. A few complaining that you've time to bed your allies. I don't judge. Much.
Indulge me, Sarah. What do you think of when I say demon?
Arrows.
Fine. Magister?
Arrows.
Not helpful, but given our history, I'll accept it. Thaumaturgy.
What?
Magical endeavors. Helpful wonders.
Oh. Arrows. Who's a bitch?
Charming.
Fact. You're not going to start that Kyun rubbish where you're trying to convert me, are you?
No. You've got an odd style, Solus. Your spells are a bit different from the Circle Mages, or the Vince.
That comes from being self-taught. I discovered most magic on my own, or learned it from my journeys in the Fade.
I've seen self-taught warriors. Even the good ones have something awkward in their style. Something that clunks. I don't get that from you. Maybe magic is different.
Or, without magical training, you cannot notice the parts of my magic that clunk.
I once saw the Empress's arse.
Congratulations.
Well, I didn't. I drew it, and someone said it was a good likeness. That's the story about trust.
Varric, I'm sorry. About earlier. With the table.
Beg your pardon? I didn't catch that, Seeker.
I am sorry.
Oh, I'll mark this on my calendar. Cassandra had a feeling.
Perhaps not that sorry.
Mahalani, Maglandeval, via Enasaline.
Aye. Perhaps you're right.
Everyone, look away. I need to find a place to pee.
Could you be more of an embarrassment in what the Inquisitor and I are trying to accomplish?
Everyone look over here. Vivian needs to pee. Hey, Solus. Droopy ears says what?
Excuse me?
Ugh, you're no fun.
I'll be ready for your signal, provided this spicy punch isn't as strong as it seems.
Try not to get too drunk while I'm gone.
You ask so much of me.
Do you ever take off your armor and talk to it?
No.
It might say something nice.
Do all Grey Wardens have beards?
No, just me. I stole all the beards, and all the power held within. There can be only one.
Not really.
Solus, darling, if you wish instruction in proper magical attacks, do let me know.
I will. Perhaps you will direct me to a circle mage who does not front-load her barriers.
Demons, flappy robes,
Thieves, dog stink,
culty shits.
treacherous taons.
What? It's not a proper game of your people are shit if you make up words.
Taon is a Ferelden title, beneath only the family of the king. I'd have expected you, of all people, to know that.
Well, that's smartasses.
Too late. I believe that's my round.
Piss.
All powerful spirits represent something. Compassion, justice, wisdom.
Soft virtues all. I am more. I am command.
Or pomposity. Adathanas de Elgara Masula Eva Venan. Excuse me?
Excuse yourself. Whatever you said and what I did, same difference to me.
I'd hoped, well, our people can sometimes feel the rhythm of the language, despite lacking the vocabulary.
Uh-huh. Know what else is good? Words that mean things. Like these. Words.
Then heed is Lhasa.
Your knife is big.
It's a sword.
It's bigger than mine.
And now you've made it awkward.
Why is it always so cold? How do you Southerners stand it?
What's the matter? Not enough slaves around to rub your footsies?
My footsies are freezing, thank you.
He repaired the armor. He was too shy to ask you if you were satisfied. He saw you smile as you tested the joint. It made him happy.
It was fine work. I will remember to thank him when we are back at Skyhold.
My elbows don't make anyone smile.
Have you ever had any interest in learning magic, Sarah?
Get off.
While it has not manifested naturally, there are ways to determine whether arcane gifts lie dormant within you.
What? Don't make me think about that. I have to sleep at night.
Sleeping would give you the chance to explore the Fade. I could introduce you to spirits.
Right, you're messing with me on purpose.
Why would I do that? It is not as though I know who filled my bedroll with lizards.
Fair point. That was pretty good.
I heard you in the training yard this morning.
Oh, I was running new recruits through some drills. Should I be quieter next time?
No, no. It's fine. Children don't learn unless you shout at them.
Let me get this straight, Solus. You're an apostate, neither Dalish nor city elf, who lived alone in the woods studying spirits.
Is that a problem for you?
No, you're a special and unique snowflake. Live the dream.
Hey, Viv! Vivi! Look at this. I got something for you.
Darling, it's your bottom again. As bony and sad as it was the last dozen times you displayed it.
It's my butt.
Maker, however shall I endure this horror? Someone fetch me a fainting couch.
Watch where you're pointing that thing.
Dirty.
Vishanta Kafas, I meant your weapon.
So, Dorian, about last night.
Discretion isn't your thing, is it?
3 times! Also, do you want those silky under things back, or did you leave those like a token? Or, wait, did you forget them so you'd have an excuse to come back, you sly dog?
If you choose to leave your door unlocked like a savage, I may or may not come.
Speak for yourself.
So, you and the Lady Inquisitor. Interesting.
Your interest is not my concern.
That's all right, because I meant boring. The elf always takes the elf, so bumping bits will mean something.
It is not a topic for discussion.
Oh, come on, drop him and rebuild the Empire. Four.
You're ridiculous.
Not me, it's him. And you.
Only one of us is looking sad and foolish, Sarah.
Oh, go twang your ears. Biddy.
Fuzzhead.
Grand.
Val Royaux, huh? I remember the first time I visited it, some 30 years ago. The market was not half as large, without the garish statues, and far fewer stands selling those ridiculous frilly little cakes.
The Val Royaux market was once nothing but tents of oiled leather and mud, filled with ragged humans, selling strings of beads made of bone.
You saw this in the Fade?
Yes, I left that memory quickly. The smell.
Must have been ages ago.
Oh yes, it's much better now. I enjoy the frilly cakes.
Hey, Solus, how do you say excuse me in Elven or whatever?
For you, it would be Ara Seranama. It is coincidence that your name is within. The base form is common.
Thanks. And now when I don't say it, you'll know it's on purpose. I sent a box of rabbit raisins to some Lord What's-His-Tits in your name.
That explains the letter of gratitude. They were, by all accounts, delicious.
Ew! Ew! Ew!
What about Solus?
I've seen how you look at him. You're in it. Bet he calls out elven glory when he does it. You can make magic anywhere, Solus. Ever piss it by accident?
No. Wait. No.
What? How would you not remember something like that?
We were all young once?
Sarah and I were just talking about you. We need you to settle a question for us.
Sarah's involved, so this question will be offensive.
Yes, probably. Sorry. You make friends with spirits in the Fade. So, are there any that are more than just friends? If you know what I mean.
Oh, really?
Look, it's a natural thing to be curious about.
For a 12-year-old?
It's a simple yes or no question.
Nothing about the Fade or spirits is simple. Especially not that.
So you do have experience in these matters?
I did not say that.
Don't panic. It'll be our little secret.
Ass.
Now who's 12? Elf root. Do elves just call it root?
No, we have another name for it.
Well, that's no fun.
You spend too much time with Sarah.
Sarah, I noticed in a recent fight, you killed someone I was already dealing with.
You were doing it too slow.
Just to be clear, you wish me to manipulate the delicate balance of the primordial energy of the Fade faster.
You're not making it worse. It's bad enough you people do that at all.
Ugh.
I do not like having that mirror, Illuvian, in Skyhold. Corypheus may not be able to travel through it, but what if something else can?
What if it's something good?
Morrigan claims that if I close my eyes and wish hard enough, a fleet of griffins will appear under my command.
See? That's probably not true. But it would be fun.
Well, yes, but that wasn't my point.
Did you know that in Ostwick, they hold races with greased cheese?
That sounds daft as anything.
They butter up a cheese about the size of a small wagon wheel and see how far they can run with it.
I'd just eat the cheese.
It's culture.
Well, culture can get in my mouth.
I am surprised you do not practice blood magic, Dorian. Is it not popular in Tevinter?
While we're sharing surprises, you've done a lot less dancing naked in the moonlight than I expected.
Tevinter lore about elves remains accurate as always.
I wanted to see you make flowers bloom with your song, just once.
How do you feel, Iron Bull? Do you need a distraction to focus your mind?
Well, this area's low on dancing girls. Sadly.
King's pawn to e4.
You're shitting me. We don't even have a board.
Too complicated for a savage Talvashoth?
A smug little asshole. Pawn to e5.
Pawn to f4. King's gambit.
Accepted. Pawn takes pawn. Give me a bit to get the pieces set in my head. Then we'll see what you've got.
So, where were we? Ah, yes. Mage to c4.
Little aggressive. Arashok to h4. Check.
Speaking of aggressive, I assume Arishok is your turn for the queen. King to f1.
Pawn to b5.
All right. You have my curiosity. Mage takes pawn.
You call your Tamasrans mages? Ben Hasrath to f6.
You call your knights Ben Hasrath. Incidentally, knight to f3.
Ben Hasrath makes more sense than horses. They're sneaky, and they can move through enemy lines. Arashok to h6.
Pawn to d3.
Ben Hasrath to h5. Ha! All right, take some time. Think about your life choices.
All right, Bull. If you are prepared, knight to h4.
Arashok to g5. So, you giving up the Tamasran at b5, or the Ben Hasrath at h4?
Neither. Knight to f5.
Pawn to c6. Left your Tamasran hanging out.
And you your knight. Or Ben Hasrath, if you will. Pawn to g4.
Ben Hasrath to f6.
Tower to g1.
Ha! Pawn takes your Tamasran, or mage, whatever it is.
I get the idea.
Too much time playing with spirits, Fadewalker.
We shall see. If you have a moment, Bull, pawn to h4.
Arashok to g6.
Pawn to h5. Careful.
You're the one who lost his mage. Arashok to g5.
Queen to f3.
Oh, clever. Almost trapped my Arashok. Ben Hasrath to g8.
Mage takes pawn, threatens queen.
Arashok to f6.
Knight to c3. You've developed nothing but your queen.
Don't get cocky. You're still one Tamasran down. Tamasran to c5, by the way.
I will need to consider. After careful consideration, knight to d5.
Arashok takes pawn at b2.
Mage to d6.
Arashok takes tower. Check. What are you doing, Solus?
King to e2.
All right. Tamasran takes tower. Your last tower, by the way.
Pawn to e5.
Really? I've got my whole army bearing down on your king, and you're moving a pawn? Are you even trying anymore?
Think about it, my friend.
All right, Solus. I've thought about it. Ready to finish this? Ben Hasrath to a6.
Knight takes pawn at g7. Check.
King to d8.
Queen to f6. Check.
And now my Ben Hasrath takes your queen. You've got no towers. You're down to a single mage. Too bad you wasted time moving that pawn to... You sneaky son of a bitch.
Mage to e7. Checkmate.
Ugh. Nice game, mage.
And you as well, Tal Vashoth.
King me.